Well, good morning everybody, and I hope everybody is doing well. And we got a lot of catching up to do today because it's been several weeks since we've had coffee because I've had so much going on. I hope everybody's had a great April and had a great Easter time, and it's getting ready for all their summertime activities because spring is here. Spring is here, even though we've been getting snow periodically around us. Not so much here, but up north and south of us they've gotten snow, but we've been lucky. We haven't gotten it here. So I hope everybody's enjoying their April and getting ready for summer, because spring's kind of the time to get ready for all your summer activities, right? So hope everybody's doing well. So we had our Memphis trip several weeks back, and it was the best trip ever. If you want to categorize a trip as being perfect, it was a great trip. Met a lot of really interesting, great people from different aspects of the United States, and met a really lovely couple from England and got to visit with them for a little bit. So that was pretty fun too. And then she went onto my Vintage Camper Girl Facebook page and made some contacts and stuff, because they were like vacationing for like 2+ weeks. They were doing like an extravaganza trip, so it was really kind of neat to listen to what they had been doing, what they were going to do, and they're going to end their little 2-week vacation with a Carnival cruise, which we've been on Carnival cruises, and it's a lovely cruise line. So anyway, we got down to Memphis, and of course you start in the airport to get where your destination is. And this was the midst of all the Delta issues with all the delayed flights. Ours wasn't. Our flight down was not delayed, so we were so lucky, and I was so grateful. But there's a lot of people in the airport that were sitting waiting for their flight crews to get enough sleep under their belts so that they could fly those people to, I think they're going to Punta Cana in Mexico. Oh, I felt so bad for them because they had been waiting, I think, 4 hours. And we had gotten there, waited for our plane, and got on our plane, and they were still waiting. So, oh, how awful. You plan this big vacation maybe for years, and then here you're delayed by, but better late than not at all, because I think some flights and some airlines got completely canceled, and you're just SOL. Oh, Lord, that wouldn't have been good at all. So I did feel bad for them. But we had a great flight down there. We had gotten up here like at 4:30. We had to get up pretty early, and we used the park and fly at the airport, which we had never done. We always try to find, you can't find anybody to drive you to the airport anymore. So I said, let's try this park and fly. I don't know why I was tentative about using it. It worked just fine. You do it online. You book what type you can have, like go park it yourself, covered or non-covered, or you can go and have valet service where they park it for you, which I chose. I chose the valet service uncovered because I thought it ain't gonna snow, hopefully, right? Or it'd be melted off the time we got back. So we just parked it, and because that's suburban, that is a beast to park in, like a skinny parking. So I thought, I don't want to park it or try to unpark it. So we splurged and spent, it was only an extra $15. And I think for the whole time that we were gone, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we came back Sunday night, it cost us like $85. I didn't think that was bad whatsoever, because if somebody took us up there, they'd have to drive the hour up and back and then up again, and so I thought it was well worth it, and we didn't inconvenience anybody. So we got checked in early to our hotel. I think it was even before noon, and everybody at the Hampton Inn, Beale Street down there, was great. It was just a lovely staff. They were so friendly and helpful and nice, and had advice and helped you out with everything. And you know, you think, well, yeah, of course they work at the hotel, but you know, not all service industry staff is that helpful and stuff. You know, you've come across those that maybe don't like their job or something, right? But as working in the service industry as I do and have, people are paying for that, so you should be trying to be kind of nice and it help their experience. I think in the days, you know, I work as a lab tech, and that's service industry, and I've bartended off and on for many, many, many years, and that people are coming in there and they're paying for you to serve them, so you should give them the best service that you can, because that's what it's all about, right? So anywho, it was a great hotel, beautifully clean, lovely, lovely staff, especially when we kept running into this one staff member, Chad. So helpful, so nice, and he gave, I always have, of course, I always have a Vintage Camper Gal cards, I pass them out, but when we make these connections for people, wherever they may be, or they live over, that's how they kind of connect back with me, is this little card, because you know, you forget people's names and stuff, and you might write their name or contact on a piece, but you might lose it. But this way, if they have that, or they kind of remember what my YouTube name is, and they might not remember, you know, Mary, but they'll remember a YouTube channel, we can make contact with them and talk to them and stuff, so it's kind of fun. So anyway, got there, got down, got checked in, unpacked all our stuff, got everything laid out, and then we decided just to go down to Beale Street and just hoof it. So we did. We hit, oh Lord, I can't remember the names of the museums, and I got souvenirs from them sitting over here on my side. One was the, I'm sorry if I'm looking over here, oh Lord, it was the Rock and Roll Soul Museum, and one was another. We went to two rock and roll type museums. One was a Rock and Roll Soul Museum, and one was, oh Lord, what was the name of it? It was another really big museum that was connected with a bigger, and you think I can think of the name of the bigger, like the Smithsonian has branches and stuff, and it had, you know, it was more history based. I guess it was all history based. What am I talking about? But that was really interesting. And kind of gave you an audio tour with old slides, where the first one we went through was just kind of a quick little walkthrough. I mean, we were through it pretty quick. Where this one was a more informative, informational tour and stuff, which is really neat. So, and that was really enjoyable. And since we did that stuff on Thursday, it wasn't really busy. Well, we were walking out the one, and all of a sudden, I don't know, there was like 100 people, and I think it was a tour bus got there. And we weren't quite finished, and we're kind of like, oh, there's so many people, you couldn't see the stuff that you wanted to see. So we just kind of scooted out early, and they said, oh, did you see this back room? I'm like, no, you know, I said, it kind of got really packed. And I said, that's okay. And she goes, well, you can go back in. And I said, well, no, we don't want to go get our audio stuff anyway. And they were so nice. The people there felt so bad that we kind of got pushed out because of this big, massive crowd, that she goes, here, we got a little something for you, and gave us two little cute little, I got them in here, dang it, shot glasses from the museum. And that was so nice of them, because they felt bad, because they could really tell that we were really so into it. Not that everybody isn't who is there, but so anyway, we did those two museums and walked up and down Beale Street several times, and that and then got back. And where did we even eat that first night? We just had a little something somewhere. Isn't that awful? I can't remember where it was, Lord. But that evening we were back in and ready for bed and stuff, and went to bed early because, you know, Graceland was on Friday. I thought, I don't want to wake up and have sore feet, you know, from walking. Not that that would happen, but just in case. Want to be rested. We had been up since 4 a.m. and didn't get to bed too early the night before. So we decided to hit the hay early, and we watched some news and some local stuff, which is kind of interesting too. And then got up, and then we were going to go over back to this museum because I had a free shuttle to Graceland. Well, no, the shuttle's not running today because it was Friday. I'm like, oh, bummer, because it was free shuttle. And I thought, oh, a taxi ride's going to be who knows how much. I think probably 30 bucks to get down there. Like, that's okay, what, who cares? So we were sitting there talking about, gosh, this other couple who were going to take the free shuttle that goes down there. So we all, and there was a couple from England, and they were so great. And they're the ones doing the 2+ week tour of different places in the United States in the Carnival Cruise. So we took the taxi over and visited with them, and it was really an interesting conversation, and just what they were doing and where they were from, and what it was a little bit like where they were from and us. And so it was a lovely couple. It was nice. We just love to meet new people, because you get a little slice of another part of the world when you visit with somebody. So then we went down to Graceland. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was like better than I thought it was going to be. It was wonderful. We were extremely lucky, happy, that we took the VIP tour. Remember, I told you it was only like $50 more per person to take the VIP above and beyond if you did the headsets and iPads that you held. We did that at the museum, and yeah, we don't like that because we like to talk to each other. So it was okay for the museum because that was just a little something. But Graceland, so we were so glad. So when you got there, you got your little little badge that you wore when you were the ultimate tour, ultimate VIP tour. And it was worth every cent, because, and I didn't know this when I booked this, but you know, you get your own tour guide, and I think there are 8 other people in the group with us, and they were kind of together, so we didn't really visit with them too much. They were kind of all in their own little group, so which was fine. That was right, because we were taking in all of the stuff, and I got so many pictures. I can't wait to share them with you. And I did post a little bit of it on my Instagram and Facebook page if you caught those. Just a few on the way on my phone ones, but I got a bunch of pictures on my camera. So Anyway, so we met with the group and got that all set, and we kind of did some walking around beforehand. And then, I didn't know this, but since you're in the VIP tour, you know, when you go there, you get buy your ticket, and then you go and you wait in line to take a bus up to Graceland, because you go to this great big complex, and this is where all the memorabilia and all the stuff is. A great big huge museum complex that just opened up the beginning of March. And then I had seen the other complex, and the other complex that they had was maybe a quarter of the size of this new complex. So that was really, it was a phenomenally huge complex. It was really, I had some coffee. I already got a dry mouth. My first cup of the morning. I know, isn't that hard to believe? And it's been out there, and I've just been busy doing stuff. So you had to go and wait in line like everybody, but if you were on the VIP, I don't know if you can tell it's a holographic Elvis on the front. It's kind of cool. VIP tour group, you know, there's only 8 or 10 of us in it. No lines, no waiting. We were the only tour that was offered that had your own personal tour guide, and you got on your own bus, and you got to go right up to Graceland. You got to, you had to wait outside a little bit, but our tour got to go before other people that were waiting a long time, because they only let so many people in at a time. So our tour group, and I kind of felt bad, and I kind of felt, I felt bad for people, and I don't know why, but I just think, oh, they're probably looking at us like, who do you think you are, that you get to budge in front of everybody? But we paid extra money for it, but we didn't know we were getting that. So our tour guide, oh Lord, and you think I can remember her name, and she was fantastic too. I'm sorry, can't remember her. That awful. We were just absorbing and taking in so much information. So we went up and got to drive up the driveway to Graceland, and she told us a story that the girls back in the day would kiss the wall, or the wall that's in front of Graceland, and then write their phone numbers for Elvis. He didn't call any of them, I am sure. Why would he call some random girl he doesn't know when he has a bevy of anybody probably in Hollywood or Vegas or wherever that he wanted? Anybody. So that was the story of the wall. It started out with the girls kissing it and leaving their phone numbers and lipstick, to now where people come and sign it, and they let them, and they don't wash over it. They let people sign it and leave their little not memo, but their little memo, their little whatever they want to write on there, their little thing that comes from their heart. And then you drive up to Graceland, and it's a mansion. It's and it's called Graceland from the previous owners. That was not named by Elvis. It was the previous original owners that named Graceland, because of the Graceland, because of where it was and how picturesque it was and whatnot. So I always thought it was named, his mother's name was Gladys. I have no idea why I thought Graceland was named for his mother, whose name was Gladys. Who knows, I didn't put two and two together, but anyway, it was named prior to him buying it. So we got to go up there, didn't have to wait very long, and then she says, just so you know that during the tour I will kind of stay in front, but I will kind of scoop behind you, because otherwise, she goes, I get, what did she call them? I can't remember, but looky-loos who want to join our tour group, but they didn't pay for it, unfortunately, so you don't get the perk of having paid for it by having, I felt bad about that too, but and they did. They were kind of like, oh, there's a tour guide, so people would kind of, we kind of get pushed out of the group a couple times, and then she kind of corral us all back and get us all moving, and she took very good care of us. And then we went into Graceland, and then I didn't realize this, that anytime that Elvis redecorated his home, he saved all of the furnishings and anything that he took down or whatever and put it in storage. So Graceland is not set up with the furniture and whatnot that was when Elvis passed away. They decided that the most iconic, memorable years that people remember Elvis and his home in Graceland and stuff from pictures were the around 1970, when he was, you know, I think he was still married to early 60s, late 60s, early 70s, the time Graceland in its heyday, and Priscilla and everybody living there, and not that it, oh my dog's in here and she's like snoring over there, sleeping heavy. So they took the furniture when he passed away that was in the house out, and I'm sorry if I'm all over, and put in that iconic furniture that everybody remembers from those golden years of Elvis back in the house. That's why when you see pictures of it, it's like, oh, I can remember seeing. It's because they put that, because when he passed away, I guess he had red velvet furniture, and then they put the white stuff and that decor back in. So you walk in, it has a lovely entryway, and you're not allowed upstairs because they just wanted to keep that family and private and stuff. So you get to walk into the foyer, and to your right is the living room area, like a formal living room, and then towards the back of that is a music room, and you can see the piano and stuff. And then to your left when you walk in is the formal dining room. Stairwell that you can go, you can't go up, but you can see the stairwell to upstairs, and they have a beautiful curtain hanging the top of the stairs. And then down the hallway was Vern and Gladys's room, so it's easier for them to get around. So their bedroom, and it was, you couldn't go in, but you could see in. I took my camera around, and that beautiful, beautiful bedroom. I think it was done in purple. I got pictures of it. And then they left Gladys's closet open, and they have it all acrylic, but you can see her clothes hanging in there. And then to the left is a very nice bathroom, and it had the poodle wallpaper on it, which was really cute. Then we go back around and looked into the dining room, and the family will still get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas Day dinner. You know, Graceland isn't open certain days, and the family all gets together, and they still have family meals there, which I thought that was really really sweet. And I thought that's something really living in Elvis's memory that he would have loved, because he was such a family, charitable, kind man. Even more than you think. I mean, when you hear all the stuff that he had done and all the charities are above it, you didn't hear about it, you know. And, you know, and everything's on Facebook, Instagram, and all over the place now, but it wasn't so much braggarty as there is now. Everything you know about everybody is all over the place. But he was very quiet about it, and he didn't feel the need to brag. So, very kind-hearted man. And then the next area you went into was in the kitchen, and it was a kind of a long galley-style kitchen, but a wide galley. And here they have a percolator, and I have the exact same percolator. His was an avocado, and mine was, no, his was in gold, and mine was an avocado. And the 1970s, you know, because my camper is 1970 kitschy stuff, so you saw some of that stuff. I had the toaster looks like the toaster I have, so that was, you know me, I just loved all that. And then it had, back in the day, it was the state-of-the-art security system with cameras and stuff, and all the little mini cameras. Not cameras, but the mini screens were kind of in the kitchen area where you could check all over the place. And then you went forward, and then I think this might have been an addition onto Graceland. I don't buy him or the original owners, but it was the jungle room that everybody heard about, where it was like the tiki furniture, the redwood furniture, the shag carpets, and this is like kind of the entertaining room where everybody kind of hung out and had cocktails, and you could just see it was a chill room. Really cool, totally early 70s. Hey man groovy all the way around. It was really neat. And then the tour guide was telling us that people say, hey, I found a piece of Elvis's furniture, and look, well, she says this furniture, Elvis didn't get a lot of his stuff custom made. He just went and bought it at a store. So yes, maybe you could buy that exact same couch or chair or end table because Elvis bought it from a store. So people always think they got some treasure because I have the exact same whatever that Elvis, and well, maybe you do because he got it at a store, and that was probably bought at a store years ago, and yeah, you probably do have it, but it's not Elvis's. Because Elvis hung on to everything. And then you go through, and then you kind of go into the back area, and you can kind of see the back of the kitchen, go through, and then you go to where the carport was. You know, because it's not like up here where they have blizzardy, windy stuff. He just needed a carport. Or he used to park all his cars. It's all enclosed now. And then the backyard, and then the back, I don't know what kind of building it was, but it was turned into Vern's office, and that's all still the way it is. And then an old part of the shed, because I guess his father, Vern, who managed his money and stuff, I always thought the Colonel did, but he managed his career and probably got enough of his money. But his dad did take care of the finances of the house, and Elvis wasn't bankrupt when he passed away. He had money, but he spent his money too. So I mean, he did not die a pauper, but he didn't leave a lot of money when he passed, and not enough to keep Graceland up. And that's where Priscilla came in and, you know, revitalized Graceland and kept it a living museum kind of in a way for everybody. So Vern had his thing, and then there's like an old shed there. That's where they used to do shooting and stuff. They practiced shooting in the backyard, and there's still like holes and stuff where they took their shotguns, you know, just like anybody would, you know, just to try to keep that type of humbleness and friends around him all the time. He kept all those contacts. And then she was showing us like some old stuff that was probably from Graceland. It was from Graceland before Elvis bought it, but Vern and Elvis kept everything. So if it was there when they bought the place, they kept it. So they kind of kept it up in the rafters and stuff. It was stuff that was left behind there. And then behind there, you'll see the beautiful horse pastures. And I think the original Graceland came with 13 or 15 acres. They have much, much more now. But and the horse barns, and they still keep horses there and stuff. And then there is also more modern looking building, not like the one you're used to seeing, you know, the pillars and stuff in the back. And that was his, what did he have? Oh Lord, isn't that awful? He had a game room in there. Oh, a game room, and then a racquetball room and stuff. And that's where he had that specially built. That wasn't part of Graceland when he bought it. And then also there's a good little leather lounge area where he had a piano, and apparently that was the last place that the evening that Elvis was hanging out with friends, and that was the last place he was, the last piano he played and sang on. And then he passed away sometime during that night and was found the next day up in his room. So that was there, and then you got to go over, and there's some other outbuildings, we didn't go in those, and then of course the little cemetery area where Elvis and Gladys and Vern are buried. And I didn't realize, or I might have heard and forgot, that Elvis had a twin brother when he was born, but he's stillborn, and he was buried down in Tupelo. And I believe an unmarked grave, they said. So they have a plaque there for his twin brother, but I don't know if they couldn't find the body or they decided to leave the body down in Tupelo, because if they said unmarked grave, maybe they're not sure where it is. I don't know. You have to do some research on that. So there was a plaque for him, and there is a spot for 2 more people to be buried there if they want to be, one for Priscilla and one for Lisa Marie. So there's spots there if they wish that. And it's a beautiful, beautiful meditation garden with, and I didn't take pictures of the graves and stuff. And that's fine for people who do that. I just feel it's kind of a bit sacred and personal. And there's pictures all over the place if you want to see them. And I saw pictures of them too before I went there. People were taking pictures, and that's fine. I just chose not to. I'm a little bit different when it comes to death and all that type of stuff. And our family is a little bit different when it comes to when somebody passes away in our family. We'll talk about that sometime. But anyway, nothing weird. So I didn't realize, since that's considered a public cemetery, that from 7:30 to 8:30 every day, people can go up there free of charge. Of course, it's not open. The buildings aren't open, but people can go up there to the cemetery if they wish to honor Elvis and his family and stuff for that 1 hour every day, because it's considered a public domain during that time, because it is a cemetery, and all cemeteries are public domain, which I didn't know that. It was a legal cemetery. So people are allowed to go visit the grave. That's it, nothing else. They can go up there, and they do have security and stuff, so people aren't wandering around or whatnot. And behind there's that, and then behind the house was a small, modest swimming pool, big enough, but not a great big huge Olympic size, but a fun, back one that you think in anybody's backyard. So we did that. So Graceland was awesome. So we went after that, and then you got to go down, and then part of the package was you got to go to Vern's. It was like a cafeteria. We got to eat real barbecue, and that was really good. And a lot of people in the group were hungry, and they wanted to go eat, and she says, well, you don't have to stay for the whole tour. If you wish to go eat at Vern's cafeteria style, you could. I thought, why would you want to leave the... They all left. The other 6 or 8 of them left. Me and Gary were the only with the tour guide. And we said, you can make it an accelerated version of what you would normally do if the whole group stays with you. And but we got little stories and stuff that those people didn't get to hear or see, because they took off, and she took us through where all of his costumes were kept, which was really interesting. And she says where they were at the smaller facility, you could only see the front because they had them like lined up and there wasn't room, but now they're all in beautiful glass cases. I took a picture of every single one. I'm going to do a whole slideshow of that for you guys. Every single costume that I might have missed a couple, but in the fronts and backs, so you can walk around the whole thing, which you couldn't do before. And she says we only could display a few at a time because we didn't have room. Everything's displayed, everything. And then some of them, if they were like during a tour thing or something, oh, what am I doing to my car here? During a tour thing, they had the videos playing in the background of the tour. And then they had the costumes sitting here. It's like when he did the Hawaii tour, I think he wore 4 different costumes. So they had those all displayed. And then they had the video of him singing in those costumes during the Hawaii show. That was fantastic. I just love that. Did that, got to see all his cars. Could not believe the cars he had. and other little kitschy, and he's got stuff in storage. They have like everything cataloged and stuff like well, it is a museum, I guess, but everything is cataloged and kept in storage, and you can see some of the stuff in display cases and stuff, but he says we switch it out sometimes, but you can't have all of it all the time, so we swap things out and change things out when it comes to like little things, like maybe his lunchbox, not when he was a little kid, but maybe Lisa Marie's lunchbox or something, and you got to see their wedding clothes, and it just goes on and on and on. Like I said, I probably got 3 videos that I'm going to put together with stuff and share it all with you, but I just haven't gotten to it. So that was fantastic. It was better than whatever. So she did all her stuff and did it, and we were like, oh, thanks so much. And she goes, oh, we're not done. She goes, because you're on the VIP tour. And that people are going to kick themselves. I'm sure I'm going to watch this because we didn't talk to him. But you got to go into the special area, a special room. And she says, because of this, we put little cotton gloves on, and then she opened up this like little safe thing, and it was it was pretty cool. One of his gold belts, and it was really heavy, that he wore all the time. In part of his costume, we got to hold that. That was cool. We got to hold a pair of his shoes, and they were a pair that he wore all the time, not like a new pair. They were broken, you could tell they were worn all the time. And then also got to hold his one of his microphones that he used quite a bit at the time. It was all gold too, so that was pretty cute. Gary was pleased as punch to see all that, and I thought it was neat too. What am I talking about? I thought it was pretty cool. So then that was the end of the tour, and then we got to wander around and whatnot, and I felt kind of bad for the tour guide, and I don't know what the policy is there, but usually if you have a personal tour of something, or somebody gives you know, above and beyond. I mean, she was wonderful. You give them a tip of some sort. Well, when everybody took off and left, not one person. Oh my God, and I think it's a manners thing, or maybe it's where we live in the country, maybe, I don't know. But don't most people tip? I don't know. Maybe we're over tippers, I don't know. But, so I felt so bad, so I gave her double what I would have normally given her, because not anybody else in the group who left gave her a tip, and she did a wonderful job. She was great, very informative, kind of told you some little extra things that you didn't know. So I said, well, you know what, I told Gary, I said, you know, next time somebody gives me awful service, I won't tip them anything, maybe to compensate. But I thought, she gave us a great tour, very informative, a lovely person, went above and beyond. So we just tipped her double that we wanted, because nobody else tipped her, and I felt bad for that. She worked hard, you know, and she does 2 tours a day, because they're over 3.5-hour tours, so she can do 2 a day, you know, 8-hour a day. And I thought, okay, so I'm sure, I don't know what she makes, but it's probably not super huge, and when you have a service industry job, you kind of rely on little tips here and there, you know. So we just tipped her, double and said thanks so much, and kind of thought, oh, people. But whatever. So that was Graceland. It was wonderful. We went back. So, and that was on Friday. So Friday night and Saturday night we went down to Beale Street. It was fantastic. It was like southern Vegas. I don't know. The whole street was lit up, and every bar that you walked past, or tavern, or whatever they call them down there, nightclub, had a band or had music or something. It was great, and it was all different types of music, you know, jazz, bluegrass, folk, kind of rockabilly, I mean, just, and hard rockabilly, like Hillbilly Casino. I mean, just everything. And every place we went into, except for one where Hillbilly Casino was playing, it was free, and that was only $5 to get in. But it was free. It was just part of, you know, part of the bar. You didn't have to pay cover charge. There wasn't a fee. You know, all the musicians had tip jars up front, and we always did tip when there was different musicians stuff, and go throw a 5 in or whatever. But fantastic music. The first night we walked up and down the block several times, and then went to Lou's Blue Note, and that's the first night where we hung out. The end of the night, we hung out most of the night there, and it was great. They had it was like people just coming up, and I think we listened to 3 or 4 different people singing, and I don't think they were all paid. The primary band, I think, is paid. And those people kind of make tips, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know how that all works on there. But we got to listen to such a diversified, different music. And it was great. We just sat there and had cocktails and listened to all the different types. So it wasn't just, okay, so I'm not quite sure where my camera quit. But so the last thing I was talking about was Sun Records. And we went to the Sun Studios and got to see all the memorabilia stuff and whatnot. And then you got to go into where the original Sun Records studio was. Sorry if I'm repeating myself because I'm not sure when my camera died on me. But okay, this is I think the third coffee this has happened. So it's time to get a new camera. She's gone. I've had her for 3 years. It's time to get a new one. So anyway, and so you got to see where the Sun Studio, and it looks just like you think it was originally, and the booth is back there where Sam Phillips used to, and the front area is still exactly the same. The front door to the studio is not where the front door is now because they put it inside so somebody wouldn't take it. I'm sure someone would probably do that. So we got to see that whole thing and got our kitschy little souvenir stuff and whatnot. So that was fun. That was a great day, and then we walked back downtown to Memphis because we thought, oh, it looks pretty safe, it's not too far. Oh, maybe not the best idea. There's a couple areas that we felt a little bit uncomfortable in, but it was daylight. Kind of hoofed a little bit fast through those areas, and then kind of saw some people and kind of, oh, let's go walk up with these people, and it was okay. It was only a couple areas. We didn't feel overly upset about the surroundings, but you could just tell, oh, maybe it wasn't the best place to walk. But we made it back. Everything was fine. And then we went down to Beale Street the second night. So the first night we were at Lou's Blue Note. The second night, we spent a majority of the evening at Jerry Lee Lewis's bar, and then they had the, oh my gosh, the piano player that was in there, we bought his CD too, was fantastic. And you watch this guy's hands playing the piano. You couldn't even see it. They were a blur. They were a blur. He was just, you know, great singer, great musician, great showman. It, you know, did Jerry Lee Lewis's memory proud. It was a great place. So that was fun. We did that the Saturday night and stuff, and then went up to, I don't know the name of the place, but it had like a theater marquee out front, and that's where Hillbilly Casino was playing. So, and they're like really loud rockabilly rock kind of stuff, you know. They do a little different this and that, but they're fun and full of energy. So we went up and listened to them. And then earlier that night I forgot to tell you, we ended up going to a little place and had a little bit of barbecue, but we didn't want to eat big heavy meals because then you kind of get, or we do, maybe because we're old, you get tired and stuff. So we just had a little light barbecue sandwich, and all the barbecue we had down there was fantastic and stuff, and good. But you know, and they always say Memphis has the best barbecue, and it does, and it was great. But I tell you what, my sons and my nephew have done just as good barbecue up here. So you can, sometimes the best food in your own backyard. But it was great. Everything we had down there was fantastic, delicious. So that was Saturday night, and then we got in by midnight that night, and then Sunday was our bon voyage day, so we slept in late, had a late breakfast because we had to hang before we could go to the airport. And then when we got to the airport, it was the whole Delta deal again, and then our flight was delayed. The one ahead of us to Minneapolis was delayed, ours was delayed, so we would have ended up leaving 4 or 5 hours later. Well, I saw there were open seats on the delayed one before us, which was going to leave in an hour, and we hopped on that one, got a standby ticket. Oh, thank you, Lord. So we got to take off on that. Got back safe and so that was great. So that was our Memphis trip in a little short nutshell, and like I said, I'll get little slideshows together eventually. So that was that, and then in the next week when it's Easter, and then that was a lovely holiday with the family. It was great weather that day, and that was nice. And then I had a call, and I'm on call this weekend too, but I got this in, that I'm going to get this in, and then we're into the camping season. It's the camping season. Tomorrow, my son and nephew are going up to prep the area. The next weekend, we're going to take the camper up. Chad's going to drive her up there for us and get her all leveled and in place and whatnot. And my nephew and his daughter Ashley are going to come up, and we're going to get things going and start on it, because I got a project. Because remember last fall I was going to do all my stuff, and I got the job, and whoosh, nothing got done. Everything got put, I got it, like the old mattresses and that stuff cleaned out. That was it, and everything's in it. I didn't get it cleaned. I didn't get the rug shampooed. I didn't get anything redecorated. So I got lots of projects up north, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. I got the whole summer. It is what it is. Nobody's going to say anything. It's only me, and I'm not going to rush through it and then stress myself out. I'll get it done throughout the summer, and I am going to, video it for you. I'm going to video what it looks like right now with all the stuff in it because it's a disaster, and then you're going to go like, oh, you know what I'm talking about. So that's all that's going on. And then I got it, and we didn't buy a lot of souvenir stuff because we got so much stuff. So I'll show you just a couple little cute things that I got. I got a cute pair of little earrings from Graceland. Just some little kitschy things. And then we did get a picture. See if I can get it out of here. Picture taken at Graceland. So they put you in front of, I think it's a green screen. I don't think this was behind us when we stood there. And then they take a picture. So that was us at Graceland. And I tried to get a picture of the Graceland mansion, but there's so many people you can't get a good picture, but that's all right because they enclosed that in our deal. So we got the picture of us and then some little teeny snapshots and then the picture of Graceland. So that was really nice. You know, and we weren't going to get, you don't want to have people take your picture. We had a couple people take pictures, but you know, it was nice to have that. So we got that, and then we got some little photo frames, and then like I said, and then my husband got a few little keychains too. We got some Sun Studio magnets, and so this is a tchotchke stuff we got. Then Gary got this. It's a driver's license of Elvis Presley, but it's a keychain. So we just got kitschy little things, some other little magnet stuff. So nothing like, oh my god, I can't believe. And then I got this cute little Elvis pin. And then we got a whole bunch, because down there, you know, people smoke all over the place. You can't smoke in the bars, which was really nice. But they had matches for like 25 cents from a couple different places we were, so I just snarfed them up. Because they're nice to have up north for campfires and lighting candles and around the house too. You can't find matches anymore. I mean, like, not the advertisement matches. They're a thing of the past because of the smoking laws and stuff, which is fine, but they're nice to have around. So I grabbed bunches and bunches of these matches with the logos of different places we went, because they're just kind of neat, because when you use them, you're late and whatever, you remember that. And Elvis Presley's band he called Taking Care of Business, and one of his mottos was taking care of business in a flash. So you'll see that in his house in some of the rooms of the house. And then I forgot to tell you, downstairs in Graceland, I'll pedal back, I always do that all the time, he had a great big pool room that was completely upholstered. Walls, ceiling, everything was matching upholstery in a pool room. And then had a rip in the green of the pool table where one of his friends did it, and they left that way. And then he had a great big media room, and he had a projector thing in there to watch stuff, but he had like just tons of TVs. And you know, yeah, this is the early 70s, but back then that was quite the thing. And then he had a Sunday ice cream bar down there too. Forgot to tell you about the basement. Forgot all about that. I knew I was forgetting something. But Elvis was not a drinker. I didn't know that. You know, I was thinking all his buddies and stuff, you know, but he had liquor and he had bars in his house for his friends. But they said if he drank, he might have a Bloody Mary, just for the fact he wanted the tomato juice to cover up the taste of the alcohol, which I thought was pretty interesting. But his logo was taking care of business in a flash. So you would see this lightning bolt with that TCB on different things in the house, which is interesting. So before my camera dies again, and I'll have some spliced, edited together, and if something doesn't make sense, it's because it got the camera cut off and I didn't know about it, so sorry about that. So that's all that's been going on. A lot has been going on, and lots coming up going on. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful spring and getting everything. What are you guys doing? I love when you guys comment and tell me what's going on with you too, because I like to hear from you guys, because I do, you know, I look to see who subscribed, and if you subscribe, you know, I always say like, hey, welcome, and then I'll connect to your name to see if you guys got a little YouTube channel or something, and see what's going on with you guys, because some of you guys do have YouTube channels. And I had my prize giveaway drawing for Yes 2 Carats. It's gonna be a little late. I kind of heard late from one of the winners to get the stuff out, but better late than never. It might be delayed a little bit, but she'll get it. And that was Raven Rose, or Rose Raven. Oh, and then the other girl, I think it's Jackie B or Jacqueline B, never responded back. Sometimes I don't hear back from the people who won, which is unfortunate, because then they don't get their stuff. I got one thing from last fall, and I'm like, I should just dismantle it, because it's been like 6 months. They're not going to ever get a hold of me probably, or they're not a subscriber anymore. And then the one girl who did respond to me, she has a cute YouTube channel, so I was checking that out and stuff, because like I said, I always kind of see who subscribed, or and then go on over and see if, because it will tell you if they have subscribers, so then you're like, oh, they got a YouTube channel, and see something, it might be something that I'm interested in, so that's kind of a great way to meet people. Like I said, I just love the whole community of all of it. So if you guys comment, I always respond back to sometimes I might be a little delayed, but I always read everybody's comments and respond back. I like to have those little conversations with you. So please share what's going on with you too. So that's it. Until we have coffee again. That'll be all that's going on, I guess. And then I'll try to get at least one of my trip videos together because they were phenomenally great. I loved them. And like I said, I took so many pictures and I uploaded them to my computer, so they're just sitting there waiting. So everybody take care. Everybody have a wonderful spring, and hope the weather's cooperating so you can get what you need to do done to get ready for the summer. Take care of everybody. Bye.